right, so this is the 15th video of the Maybe series, and it's the 7th under Enterprise Value and Equity Value, and this is the intro to Enterprise Value and Equity Value under the Maybe series, right? So not a lot of questions that I would say fall under here. There are a couple, and I do think that they are relatively important to know. I also kind of have them listed in order of the most important to the least important. But yeah, it is something that, especially for the first two, that I would be relatively comfortable with, but then the last two are a little bit more niche, and maybe you will be asked it, maybe not, right? I think maybe not is probably more likely for most folks. So yeah, that's kind of some guidance around like what enterprise value and equity value um, looks like under the maybe series. So the four main questions that I would say fall under here is the first is how enterprise value or equity value is affected by like a sale, right, of like inventory or whatever the case is, right? This is something that I would still say is relatively important to know. It kind of ties in some of the accounting stuff that we did with enterprise value and equity value. And I think just an example of that helps like everything click a little bit better so you understand how everything ties in, right? The second is, can enterprise value slash equity value be negative? Right? And this is something that's a relatively simple concept, especially once you know the formulas for each one of them, but it is something that does come up, right? So I would say that this is still something that I would want you guys to be comfortable with. And then the next would be enterprise value slash equity value in M&A. And over here, we're talking about deferred tax assets and deferred tax liabilities, right? Now, this is quite common if you're recruiting for M&A. But if you're not, honestly, I didn't hear a lot of people getting questions over here. And then the fourth is why enterprise value is not truly capital structure neutral, right? And this one is relatively niche. It's definitely not a must for you guys to know this. This is probably the most niche one out of the four, but I think it's still something good to know in case someone's like kind of asking about enterprise value in the real world, and what that looks like. Typically, that'll be someone more senior, like an MD or like a VP, that's trying to see how you apply things to the real world. So that's what we're going to cover. So let's hop into it.